Your inner voice is sabotaging your happiness right now, and you probably don't even realize it. I'm about to share the 5 self-talk patterns that psychology shows are direct predictors of unhappiness, not just symptoms, but actual predictors. And here's the thing that's going to shock you. These patterns feel so normal, so automatic, that most people over 40 think they're just being realistic. They're not. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to reverse each one of them. I'm Pamela Starusta, and I've spent years helping people in their midlife transform their inner dialogue from their biggest enemy into their greatest ally. And what I've discovered is this: 5 specific patterns of self-talk consistently show up for people who struggle with achieving true happiness and peace. Now, before we dive in, I want you to do something. As I describe these patterns, notice which ones feel familiar. Don't judge yourself, just notice, because awareness is the first step to transformation. And here's what's exciting. Each of these destructive patterns has a specific reversal technique. I'm going to provide you with the framework today, and if you'd like the complete daily practice guide with more in-depth techniques, I've created something special for you that I'll share with you at the end. But first, please hit the like button. It helps people find this content when they need it. Pattern number 1, the perfectionist prosecutor. The perfectionist prosecutor, this is the voice that constantly puts you on trial for not being enough. It sounds like something, you should have done that better. Everyone else has it figured out. You're behind where you should be. Now, here's what's fascinating about this pattern. It actually developed to protect you. When you were younger, this voice helped you avoid criticism, made you feel safe. But now it's keeping you trapped in a prison of impossible standards. The reversal technique for this is what I call progress appreciation. Instead of prosecuting yourself for what you didn't do perfectly, you consciously acknowledge what you did accomplish, no matter how small. Picture this. Instead of, I should have exercised for an hour, you say, I moved my body for 10 minutes, and that matters. You see the difference? You're shifting from judgment to appreciation, from prosecution to recognition. This isn't about lowering standards. It's about changing the conversation from self-punishment to encouragement. And when you do this consistently, something remarkable happens. You actually accomplish more because you're not spending energy beating yourself up. Now, pattern number 2, I call it the comparison calculator. This voice is constantly doing math, measuring your life against everyone else's highlight reel. She has her big business figured out, and I'm still struggling. They seem so happy in their marriage. I should be further along by now. Here's the thing about comparison. It's not actually about them. It's about a deep fear that you have, that you do not feel worthy for the person you are. Now, this pattern developed when you learned that your value was conditional, that you had to earn your place. The reversal is unique path recognition. Every time you catch yourself calculating, you remind yourself that you're not running the same race. You're not meant to have someone else's life. You're meant to have your own. Imagine if a rose compared itself to an oak tree. Ridiculous, right? Yet that's exactly what we do when we measure our chapter 3 against somebody else's chapter 20. Now, the practice for this is simple. When you notice comparison starting, you say, their success doesn't diminish mine. There's enough happiness for everyone, including me. And then you identify one thing about your unique journey that you're grateful for. Now, this third pattern is sneaky because it sounds so reasonable. Pattern 3, the catastrophic forecaster. This is the voice that's always predicting disaster. What if this doesn't work out? What if I'm making the wrong choice? What if something terrible happens? It disguises itself as being prepared, but it is actually keeping you stuck in a loop of anxiety. This pattern formed as a protective mechanism. If you imagine the worst case scenario, maybe you can prevent it. But here's what actually happens when you spend so much energy managing imaginary disasters that you miss out on the real opportunities right in front of you. Now, the reversal technique for this is the present moment anchoring. When you catch your mind in the disaster loop about the future, you deliberately bring yourself back to actually what's true and right. You ask yourself, what is actually happening in this moment? What do I know for certain right now? Usually the answer is, right now I'm okay. Right now I'm safe. Right now I have what I need. Then make one small decision based on the present reality, not your future fear. And this breaks the cycle and builds confidence in your ability to handle whatever actually does come. But wait until you hear pattern 4. This one affects almost every person I have worked with. Quick pause. If you're recognizing yourself in these patterns, you're not alone. Please drop a comment and let me know which pattern feels most familiar. And if this is helping you gain some clarity, hit the subscribe button because we're just getting to the good stuff. Pattern 4, the guilt-driven giver. This voice says you should do more for others and you're being selfish if you take time for yourself. Everyone else's needs come first. Does that sound familiar? Well, here's what's heartbreaking about this pattern. It actually prevents you from being the most generous self. When you're constantly operating from guilt and obligation, you're giving from a place of emptiness instead of overflow. And that helps no one. This pattern usually developed when you learned that your worth came from serving others, that love was conditional on how much you sacrificed yourself. But true generosity flows from a full cup, not an empty one. Now, the reversal technique for this is intentional abundance. Before you automatically say yes to request, you pause and ask, am I giving this from a place of love or guilt? Will saying yes to this allow me to show up as my best self? So instead of an immediate yes, you need to give yourself permission to say something like, let me think about it and I'll get back to you. And this creates space for you to make an intentional choice instead of an automatic guilt-driven response. When you fill your own cup first, you have so much more to offer others, and it comes from genuine joy instead of this place of resentful obligation. Now, this final pattern might be the most important one. Pattern 5, the identity imprisoner. This is the voice that says, this is just who you are. You can't change. You're too old to start over. This is your personality. All these thoughts and comments keep you trapped in an outdated version of yourself. This pattern is particularly damaging because it masquerades itself as self-knowledge. But here's the truth. You're not a fixed entity. You're a constantly evolving being capable of growth at any age, at any stage. The actionable step is identity expansion. Instead of saying, I am someone who struggles with anxiety, you say, I am someone who is learning to manage anxiety. Instead of I'm not good with boundaries, you say, I'm developing stronger boundaries. Do you see Can you feel the difference? The first one like locks you in a place, and the second one acknowledges where you are while keeping the door open for growth. You'll want to start using language that assumes growth is possible. I'm becoming someone who, I'm learning to, I'm developing the skill of. This might seem like a small change, but it's revolutionary. You shift from being a fixed character in a story to being the author who can write new chapters at any time. Now, here's what happens when you start implementing these reversals. When you consistently practice these reversals, something beautiful happens. That constant background noise of self-criticism starts to quiet. You begin to experience moments of genuine peace within yourself. You make decisions from confidence instead of fear. And you stop waiting for permission to be happy and start creating it from the inside out. Your relationships improve because you're no longer seeking that external validation. You're offering authentic connection. But here's the thing. Knowing these patterns and reversals is just the beginning. The real transformation occurs in daily practice, where you have the tools to use in real moments when these patterns show up. I've created a free guide for you that you can download in the link in the description below. It goes deeper into what we covered today. It also includes specific scripts and reversal techniques you can use in the morning or in the evening. You can grab it absolutely free in the link below. This isn't just information, it's a complete daily practice system that will help you rewire these patterns for lasting change. And if this video opens your eyes to patterns you didn't realize you had, do me a favor and share it with someone you know who needs to hear this message. Sometimes we can see these patterns in the people we love before we see them in ourselves. And I'll see you in the next video.